Okay, this little tip here is going to be when you're laying a plank, or you're laying your flooring against the wall and you end up with a small little strip between here. Now, a lot of times you can't really get your tool in there to get it nice and tight, kind of bang behind it. Even though you're supposed to leave about 1/4 of an inch, that sometimes doesn't always work out quite that well. And so you get a really tight fit in there, or maybe just not enough to get that tool in there. So I looked online, and there was one guy who said that what you can do as you're laying down this main piece here, before you lay it down, you'll notice there's like a little lip. Right here, there's kind of like a little piece that sticks up. And that's kind of where this thing will snap in there, okay? And then it kind of hooks and makes that nice little connection in there. Now, typically you tap it and, kind of tap it in a little bit tighter, but like I said, that doesn't always work out well as far as the wall goes. So what you want to do, according to him, was to cut this flat. In other words, cut this little top piece off right here. You take any sharp little knife that you got and you start cutting, and you go down and just kind of keep it steady and go down. Now, I'm not steady, for one thing. I'm not a professional. He's been doing it for I don't know how many years. So when he did it, he was just going zip and cut it all the way down and looked nice and smooth and everything. But when I tried it, I cut part of it off, and then it went down too deep, and then it kind of broke. And so it was just way too awkward for myself. So what I ended up doing is, if you take a look, this material is kind of rubbery. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I found that if I took a flathead and just pressed it really hard down, that it flattens out. And so what this looks like then is, I've got a piece right here. Is it this side? No, it's that side right there. You'll see that that little notch that you're supposed to cut off is gone. All I've done is taken the screwdriver and just pressed it down, and you can even just see that it's indented there. And you just do that. And you can even do that once you've laid the board down. So you don't have to worry about, oh gosh, now I got to take this out and cut that little piece off because I can't get this one in nice. All you have to do is press down hard, and they'll flatten out. Now, I was wishing or hoping that after a while, because it's kind of a rubbery material, that maybe it would somehow bounce back, and then, kind of lock into place after that. But I think I kept it for a couple of days. This has been about 2 days, I think it is, and it hasn't budged, so it's still flat. And that's why they had suggested that you put some super glue in here to kind of keep it tight, so that when you put it against this, it'll now slide in nice and neat. And what I did is, after I put in the super glue, I then took some duct tape and just kind of pulled it to make sure it was nice and tight. But that way you could get into those sides of the walls where it was like really tight and you couldn't really do that. And all mine turned out pretty good. And sometimes you have some really thin pieces, that you have to deal with, and they don't flatten out quite as smoothly as these because they're a little bit heavier, obviously. So even if you try to tap it down, you'll notice it kind of bends up just a little. But doing this flat this way worked out really well. And so maybe that'll help somebody else if they get into a situation like that. But again, all I did is take the flathead and just press down really hard against this. And then, in fact, you really didn't have to do it that hard, but it turns out nice and flat, and that way you can get it. Hope that helps. Take care.